Hello everyone, welcome to Bible Stories with Victoria, and today we'll be looking at Daniel. Yes, that's not the story of Daniel. There's so much to unpack from Daniel. His character trait is something we could apply to our lives. So yes, we'll be looking at chapter 2 of the book of Daniel. So one day the king woke up and he was disturbed, that King Nebuchadnezzar. He was disturbed, he had a dream and he wanted an interpretation for the dream. And he called his astrologers, the magicians, and the wise men in his palace. And he was like, okay, I need an interpretation for this dream. I just had one and I'm disturbed. So he didn't tell them the dream. He just told them he needed an explanation for this dream. And they were like, okay, sir, tell us your dream. He said, no, I want someone to narrate the dream to me. So I want that the person is capable of interpreting it. And the people were like, oh, leave the king. Please, this thing you're requesting of us, no one has actually asked. Nobody in this world has requested for such thing. It would only take a god to interpret this dream. And the king was like, if nobody tells me this dream, I will tear you guys limb to limb. And everyone was like, they already knew they were in serious trouble. But then the king, he took this one to heart. He said, I will tell you guys limb to limb. You guys have to tell me what this dream is about. And they still replied, he said, King, please, you have to tell us this dream so that we can interpret it for you. And the king replied, shocked me. Let's look at the Bible. Daniel chapter 2 verse 9. And he said, but if you will not make known unto me the dream, there is but one decree for you. For ye have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed. Therefore tell me the dream, and I shall know if ye can show me the interpretation. The king is a wise king. He knows that if he tells them the dream, they'll just connote one nonsense interpretation and give him. So now he gave them, the tax was heavy. Because in his head, you cannot be a wise man and a magician and an astrologer. And you not this for him it was like, it's something you should do, not be your profession. They didn't still give him an answer, and the king ordered that all the wise men, the astrologers, magicians that is in that whole kingdom, they should kill them all, because what's your use? And the fact is, Daniel was not there. Daniel was not in that meeting, but somehow they still involved him. The guy in charge of the execution, his name is Aroich. That's a Babylonian name, so I may not be able to pronounce it correctly, but it's Aroich. He proceeded to the province to wipe them off. And Daniel cautiously and tactfully approached him. I was like, what's going on? And he said, my guy, it don't be see what happened and see what the king asked me to do. And Daniel was like, why is the king in a haste? I know yes, he's trouble, he's in a haste. And Daniel quickly went to meet the king. I was like, oh God, sir, please just give us time to be able to, get the interpretation of your dream and also your dream. Just give us time. And the king was like, okay, fine, no problem. Daniel, wise man, he went to meet his friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Or like, guys, wait happened for palace today. And they're like, what happened? So the king had a dream and nobody could interpret it, and he just narrated the story to them. And it was like, see, the only way we can escape from this man's wrath is for us to seek God's mercy and beg him to reveal this particular thing to us. And they agreed. They were like, okay, fine, no problem. They seek the face of God, and at night, while Daniel was sleeping, God clearly revealed the dream to Daniel and also the interpretation. Daniel woke up, and of course he was excited and he praised God. So from Daniel chapter 2 verse 22 to 23 was Daniel singing praises to God and exalting the name of God. Hallelujah. So Daniel quickly approached Aroich and was like, hey, my man, I found the interpretation of this dream. Let's go see the king. And Aroich was shocked. He himself, he was like, okay, I really cannot wait to hear what this man had to say. And the rush met the king. And the king was like, of a true, you're going to actually tell me my dream and interpret it. And then he answered him. He said, this dream, your astrologers, your magicians, even the wise men couldn't even interpret it for you. But I have a God who revealed the secret things. Yes, Daniel just projected God immediately. He didn't even waste time. And the king was like, okay, let me hear it. Daniel still went ahead to tell him that God didn't reveal this dream to him just because he's the wisest of them all, but because of divine purpose. So from chapter 31 to 45 was Daniel explaining the dream to the king and its interpretation. You can go read it yourself. When Daniel was done explaining the dream, the king bowed down in awe of Daniel, and he said some things to him. I'm going to be looking at that in Daniel chapter 2 verse 47. The king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods and a Lord of kings and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou could reveal this secret. The king was like, wow. He shocked him. The king self shook. The king promoted Daniel, gave him lots of gifts, and made him in charge of all the provinces in Babylon. And Daniel is a good friend. He requested that the king make Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah rulers of the provinces while he sits at the king's palace, and it was granted him. Now, the story, of course, is short, but there's a whole lot of lessons to learn from the story. That Daniel had a walk with God. Yes, he does. We can see that in Daniel chapter 2 verses 18. Then Daniel went to his house and made it known to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companions, that they would desire mercies of the God of heavens concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows shouldn't perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. How did he know that it's only God that would save him if he don't have a walk with God? He knows that he has already seen God work. He knows of God's mercies. He knows of his faithfulness. He has seen him come through countless times. The only way you can know those things about God is if you have a walk with him. If you have a walk with God, God will show you different dimensions of himself, of course. And Daniel has seen some of God's work in his life. He knew that this one was like a moi case to God, but what he just did was to require mercy. He decided to seek the mercies of God as regards the situation. It's very obvious he had to work with God. Another thing I got from this passage, or from this story, is that Daniel was a man of the secret place. He doesn't joke with the presence of God. Like, his voice is already recognized in the realm of the spirit. So when the chips were down in this kind of situation, he didn't just go there to start afresh, to start begging. The secret place isn't meant for visitors. They're meant for songs. They're meant for, it's like a gathering of family people. Yes, it's not something you come and go. Your voice has to be recognized. It's just like my family now. When they hear my voice, they know it's me. But you as a visitor, when you come and knock on the door or at the door, it will take you saying your name for them to recognize you. And most times, they feel even answer you. But once I'm at the door and I just say mommy or daddy, they just know that it's and they just open the door. How do you access the secret place? It's by constant fellowship with God. It's just, for example, I met you for the first time. You will not come and start telling me all your secrets. You will not come and start sharing things with me. It will only take fellowship, friendship. It will take me calling you always, checking up on you, you and I meeting, having discussion. It's a relationship. You understand? So how you access the secret things of God is by having a relationship with God. That's just the only way. And from the story, because of Daniel was able to tell the king the dream and the interpretation through the help of God, he was elevated from being a slave to a great man. And that was what having access to the secret place does for you. It causes elevation. Once you have a fellowship with God, a relationship with God, trust me, your life will not just be anyhow. It will have a direction. Like, you will know where you're headed, and you will see your life transform. You cannot meet with God. You cannot have fellowship with God. You cannot meet with God and be normal. There'll be evidence. There'll be proof. There'll be substance. Like, you will know. People will know that, okay, this person has met with God. This person, not just met, he meets God. He meets with God rather. Like, you will just know. So I want to encourage us today. If you don't have a relationship with God, start today to build a relationship with him. The last but not the least thing I got from this story is that Daniel wasn't a selfish person. When he elevated, he remembered his brothers. Some of us, those people where we say all of us they just one appointment. In fact, just because you are a personal assistant to an SA, you know, like, you're not in that, just dash you that position and immediately your shoulder will go up. You forget your friends, you forget people that were there with you, you just automatically become, is that time you not remember this is not my class, automatically you have a class. Daniel didn't abandon his brothers at his time of greatness. Instead, he elevated them too as well, and he told the king, that province where you won't give me, give it to my brother. And the three of them, they were made leaders of those provinces, and he sat in the king's palace. Let's look at that in the Bible too. Daniel 2 verse 49. Then Daniel requested of the king, and he set Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, those were their Babylonian names, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, over the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel sat in the gate of the king. You see, easy peasy. He rose, they rose also, and that's how it should be. And yes, this one skips my mind. Daniel pointed everyone to God and not to himself. We could see that in verse 47. The king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your God is a God of gods and a Lord of kings and a revealer of secrets. Daniel pointed everyone to God and not himself. And that was why the king, when he was trying to be appreciative, he appreciated God. Yeah, he appreciated Daniel, of course, but the praises was given to God and not Daniel. I'm sure some persons will come out like this. Now, I have the interpretation of the king's dream. Let me now proceed to tell the king what it is. It will be I. But the first thing Daniel said was, God of heavens, the revealer of secret things, has revealed unto me the things that disturb the king. Not because I'm the wisest of them. Oh, Daniel. See, project people to God and not to yourself. So if you're a leader, you're a preacher of God, the gospel, you're a minister, project people to God, not to yourself. Point to God. Let people see that it's God and not you, but it is God using you to help them. Simple. So we've come to the end of our story for today. I want to know what the Holy Ghost is laying in your heart concerning the story. I want you to drop it at the comment section. You can go ahead to read this particular chapter from the beginning to the end. I am so sure you'll get a lot from this story. Alright, so see you guys in the next episode. I love you guys and I really cannot wait to share the next story with you. Bye.